then we cannot have the foreign key value in the employee table. Correct? So can I make a rule on a database now? Yes, I can make. What is the rule? If there is no value here in the primary key, I cannot use that value here in the foreign key. Here 6 is not there, right? In the primary key we do not have 6 here. So I cannot make use of it in the foreign key. So any values that we are going to make use of here in the foreign key should first be existing here in our primary key. Then only we can use it. Otherwise we cannot use it. Clear? Did we make a rule on a database now? Yes. Okay. Now let's give the names to this employee table and then the department table. Okay. The employee table, it is called as the parent table, and then department table can also be called as a parent table. Okay. Basically parent table is what? The table that contains primary key. Okay. I'm giving you the definitions now. You can write this definition in one line. Okay, then I will ask you a question. I'm saying that a table that contains the primary key, we call it as a parent table. A table that contains the foreign key, we call it as a child table. Okay, is it clear? Any table that contains primary key, it is a parent table. Any table that contains the foreign key, it is called the child table. Okay, fine. Okay, now can you identify the parent table and child table over here? Anyways, I have written it. Need not be that it is the correct one. Okay. So you think and tell me which is a parent table and which is the child table in these both. Okay. Employee is a child. Some people are telling that employee is a child. Some people are telling that department is a child. Which one? How do we decide? What made you to decide which is a parent and which is a child? Okay, anybody can explain it? I will unmute you if you would like to explain it. Sophie, you will? Okay, 1 second. Let me unmute you. Okay. Okay, I have unmuted you, Sophie. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Hello?
Yes, Sophie, I can hear you.
Okay, according to the definition that you showed us in the previous slide, the parent table contains the primary key,
Right.
and the child table contains the foreign key. So in the example that you showed us in the second slide, the department table has the primary key, right? The reference is the department.
Okay.
And then the employee table has the foreign key. The reference is the parent, the department table. So I said department table was the parent table, and the employee table is the child table.
Okay, but as per the definition that I gave you, okay, employee table also has an employee ID which is a primary key. Then why not I call it as a parent?
Yeah, but then the foreign key, but it also contains a foreign key, right? So the department table doesn't have a foreign key.
Okay, so if I create another foreign key in department table, then how will you decide?
I don't know.
Okay.
That might be tricky.
Yeah, it's tricky. Yes. But if you look at it, is you just compare it to the real-time scenario. Okay, a parent and child relationship in the real time, any person. Okay, it will be quite clear for you. Okay, let me clear that thing. Okay, anybody else would like to answer this question?
So was it right or wrong?
I will come to it, Sophie.
Okay. Thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome. Let's see what others have to say about it. Okay. Okay. Madhuri, go ahead.
Yeah. Hello?
Hello?
Yeah. Well, according to my understanding, I think employee table is the parent table and department table is the child table. That's because employee table has got both primary key as well as foreign key. And whereas in department table you have only one primary key.
Okay.
Because the department ID is a foreign key in the employee table.
Okay.
And it's the primary key in the department table.
Okay. So you mean to say that, okay, if I create here, okay, now department ID is there, okay, in the department table, which is nothing but a primary key. So I will create one foreign key here. Okay, let's assume I have created a foreign key over here, right? So now tell me, how do you decide whether this is a child or a parent? We have the primary key and foreign key here. Here also we have a primary key and foreign key. Now how do you decide which is a parent and which is a child?
Because see, the department in the department ID in the department table, okay, it's already a foreign key. I mean, it is there in other table.
Okay.
The employee ID is not there in the department table.
Right. Yes. You are.
A primary key is not as a foreign key in other table.
Okay. Yes, you are correct.
I don't know.
No, you are correct actually. Yes, you are correct,
So,
Madhuri. But you know, maybe you can put it in a better way, right? Your answer is correct,
okay.
but I don't know how many of them have, you know, really grasped it. Okay. Let's also check with Rupa. But I have understood your answer. It is correct. Okay. But I'm not sure, you know, if others have like understood it. Let's see. Okay, Rupa. Go ahead, Rupa. You want to answer?
Actually, you know, the employee table is the parent table because you already created that first, and it also has all the information in it, you know, like the employee ID, last name, first name, salary and all that. So if you take away the employee table, then all the, you know, the department table can't exist because all the records will be orphaned. So employee table is the primary, it's the parent table because the department table cannot exist without the employee table. It's dependent on the employee table. So
correct.
That would be the child table, and then, you know, employee table is the parent table because it has the primary key, and the department ID is referencing the primary key, which is the employee ID of the employee table. So
right.
Parent table is employee table and the child table is the department's table.
Right, exactly. Okay. So both of your answers are correct. Okay. So tell me, how many of you have like already understood the scenario? Did you understand? Anybody who hasn't understood? Okay. Tanu, okay, let me unmute you. You have any question, you can ask me. Okay. Yes, Tanu. I have unmuted you. Tanu, I have unmuted you. Can you please try to talk? Hello? Okay. Fine. Yes. Everybody is correct. Okay. So let's try to understand it in some simple way. Okay. So let me consider a person called as John. Okay. I'm considering a person. His name is what? John. No, Tanu, I haven't muted you. Just now I have unmuted you. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, now I can hear you.
Hi Priya. I'm attending. This is the first time I'm attending.
Okay.
This is first class. So I just want to know like what all you covered, how many days it has been started, this batch.
Okay, so whoever has joined new today, okay, please don't worry because this is the first session for SQL Server. Okay, and for the remaining topics, we will be having the covering session, which is going to be at 3 o'clock. And that time I will update you whatever we have covered and what else to be covered. Okay, 3 o'clock we have the covering session for all the new students. That time I'll tell you, Tanu. Okay. But for now,
Is this a QA batch?
Yeah, this is a QA batch, and this is a SQL module of the QA course. Okay, and this is the first session for the SQL. Okay.
Oh, no, I'm asking, like, did you finish all the manual topics or no?
Can I update you regarding that at 3 o'clock, Tanu?
Okay, okay, sure.
Thank you. Okay. Fine. So let's try to now find out the scenario. Okay. Now there is a person called as John. Okay. Now tell me whether he is a parent or a child. Are you getting my question? There is a person called as John. Okay. You got to tell me whether he is a parent or a child. Okay. No, not the John of this employee table. Okay. There is some different person called as a John. Okay. So I'm not referring to any employee or a customer or any kind of thing over here. I'm just telling that, okay, there is a person called as John. Okay. Now you should tell me whether this John, he is a parent or he is a child. Okay. Tanu says parent. Sophie says he can be both. Okay. Lavanya says he is a parent. Okay. Fine. All right. So now I will tell you need more data. Very good, Shilpi. Sorry, Shilpa. I'm sorry. Okay, Shilpi is our, installation. She does the installations for us. So I talk to her regularly. Sorry, Shilpa. I was sorry. Okay. Fine. So we have a person called as John. Okay. Right. We need more data. You are correct, Shilpa. Okay. So now I will tell. Can you give me some other name? Okay, we will take Josh. Josh, I hope you don't mind. Okay, fine. Now I tell Josh is the parent of this John. Okay. Now you tell me what is a John? He is a parent or he is a child? Right, he is a child. How did you make out? No, Manisha, you don't need any more data. Okay, I'm telling that Josh is a parent of John. What does that mean? John is a child over here. Very clear, right? So how did you decide whether John is a parent or a child? It is when we had the another person in the reference. Correct? When I only showed you John, you did not make out like, whether he's going to be a parent or a child, right? But when we have other person over here, you could easily make out, okay, that John is a child. Clear? Okay. Now I will change the relation. Now I will tell that Josh is the child, or let's say son, of John. Now you tell me what is John? He becomes a parent? Exactly. Means what? We can decide whether John is a parent or child when we have other person in the reference. Okay. Similarly, when it comes to deciding whether a table is a parent or a child, if I just ask you what is a employee table, you can't say it is whether parent or a child. If I ask you what is a department table, you can't tell whether it is a parent or a child. Okay, you cannot make a decision there. Only when we have two tables together, we can establish a relationship over there. Okay, so now we have two tables over here, which is the employee table and then the child table, right? Okay. Then what is the common field here? What is the relationship here? The relationship is established by this department ID, which is a common column between these both. Okay. So now with reference to the department ID, we will decide whether the table is a parent or a child. Okay. First thing is we got to identify the common column between the two tables. Okay. Now you see that department ID is a common column. Department ID is a primary key in this department table. So this becomes the parent. Okay. And then department ID is a foreign key in the employee table. That's why it becomes a child table. We are not going to consider employee over here because employee is not establishing any relationship between the employee table and then the departments table. Is that clear? Anybody has any doubts still? Is it simple? A simple concept, okay? Whenever you are confused, just, try to understand it with the real-time scenario. The things will be very, very clear. Okay? Explain it again? Sure. Okay, Uma and Swarna, see here. Which is a common column between the employee table and the department table? The common column, can you identify, Uma and Swarna? Yes, department ID. Okay. Now I had given you the definition. Parent table means it will be having the primary key. Child table means it will be having the foreign key. Okay. Now department ID is what? It is a primary key in the department table, right? So here this becomes the parent table. Clear? Now here in the employee table, department ID is what? It is a foreign key. That is why employee table becomes the child table. Clear? Swarna and Uma? Okay, Swarna. What about Uma? Okay, good. Fine. Now these are some of the features. Primary key has a unique fields. It is individual. It must not be null. Foreign key, it is a primary key of another table. Okay. Some definitions. Okay. Now let's try to understand. No, Manisha, we cannot, yeah, that's what I said you, right? It could be both, but we cannot tell in a particular context that it is going to be the both. When we have two tables in the relation, one will be parent, one will be child. One table cannot be a both in single context. In one context, it can be either a parent or a child. Okay. Fine. Then we have the database management system. What is a database management system? Now when it comes to a system, okay, we can understand, yes, it is something good, something big, something great. Yes. Okay. Now it is database management system means a system that is going to enable the database to be created. Now we already know, okay, what is a database? It is nothing but a collection of the information. How do we store this information? In an organized way so that it can be easily accessed, managed and updated. Okay. What is a database? It is a collection of the information that is organized. Okay. It stores the data. That is true. But it should store the data in the organized way so that it can be easily accessed, managed and then updated. Okay. And what is the database management system? This is a system that enables the database to be created. Using this system, we can access the database. Manage means do the modification in the records, okay, add the new records, delete the records, okay. Then give the accessibility to that database, right? So it can be managed, updated. This system is nothing but we call it as a database management system. Okay, clear these two definitions? Okay. Now this is how we organize the real-time data into our software. Okay. So the car manufacturer is what basically? It is the organization. Right? What is it? It is an organization. So any organization, we will make it as a database. Okay. And then the entities within the organization, like you have the employees, customers, suppliers, sales. So entities will take the shape of table. Okay. At the organization level, we can have a database. Sometimes we can have more databases. Okay. But for any common reason, we can consider that there could be one database for one organization. And then the entities of the organization will take the role of the tables. These entities will have the properties. Okay. For example, what are the properties of employee? employee name, department designation, salary, etc.